I've heard happiness is a homemade dish. Do you agree? Yes? So who cooks this dish? Absolutely. A mother brings home happiness like nobody else can, right? So how many of you have seen your mothers enjoy being your mom? Please raise your hands. Okay. How many of you have seen your mothers being stress-free and happy when she is with you? Cool. Honestly, I remember my mother being mostly stressed. I don't think she had enough time to enjoy herself. Today, being a 1.5-year-old mother myself, I want my daughter to remember me as a happy mother. I want her to remember me as a person who was stress-free, especially when I was with her. So with my little experience, I could come up with a few tips that helped me create happiness around me. Now, these tips are not only for mothers, but also for all individuals who want to be happy. So my first tip is love what you have. Don't compete, don't compare. It's very, very, common for mothers to compare children, my children with someone else's children. It is also common for us to compare our cars, our houses, our mobiles, our dresses with others. Let's not do that, because each one of us has an individual life. Each one of us have our own struggles. So it's always better not to compare. For example, I have a neighbor. So my daughter has just turned 1. She came to me and she said by the time her daughter and her granddaughter turned 1, they were walking. My child had not started walking yet. But her comment didn't bother me, because I had already discussed, like my doctor had already told me that there is no particular age for a child to attain or get a milestone. It's always a time period. So for walking, it's 19 months. Now my child started walking when she was 14 months old. Some children might have started walking before that or after that, which is absolutely okay. But if we take those comments seriously and make them bother us, we are getting worried for no reason. Another thing today is social media. With all those Instagram pictures and videos, we keep comparing ourselves with those people. But we don't realize that those pictures and videos are just one aspect of their life. It's not their entire life. So I got a video again from a friend where a 1-year-old could identify numbers. And she asked me if my daughter could do the same. So she was 18 months old, and I said, okay, she cannot identify numbers, and I'm okay with it because I've never shown her numbers. So, the first step towards happy motherhood is don't compare your children with others. Each child is special in his or her own way. The second tip which I can share is pick your battles. We know we cannot get everything done according to our plans. So, for example, these days I'm teaching my daughter to eat by herself. Sometimes she eats with her left hand. Sometimes she rubs her food on her head, chair, table, dress. Sometimes she throws away the bowl. Now, I just scold her when she throws away the bowl. All other things I don't tell her much, because if I keep scolding her for each step that she has taken, firstly, she'll not understand. Secondly, she'll not listen. So I pick my battle. I pick that one thing which is most unacceptable behavior for me, and I stop her only for that. That way, I'm not too much stressed, and she also understands somewhere, okay, she shouldn't throw the bowl away. So this is the second tip, that pick your battles. Don't think that you can get everything done your way. The third tip is be calm and patient. This is the most difficult thing for me to practice. I have to do it consciously, it has to be a conscious effort for me. Because at times, especially with such a small child, you want to shout and yell at her. But again, I found there were two particular reasons why I was feeling like shouting at her. One reason was I was mostly sleep deprived and tired. Second reason was I never got enough time to do any work, be it a work-related work or housework, or anything that was urgent. So getting enough time was another reason that I was being impatient with her. So I tried two techniques to make myself calm. First one was, when any such behavior was happening where I felt I was being impatient, I asked myself, would I scold her for this if I was not sleep deprived? Would I scold her for this if I had enough time to do all my other work? Mostly, I can say always the answer was no, I wouldn't. So this questioning myself helped me. Maybe you can question yourself when you are trying to be, angry at something. Take a moment, question yourself. Would you be angry on that thing if some other thing was not underlying, some other underlying factor was not present, right? The second thing was, take a step away from that stressful situation. So when I'm too angry with her, I just put her at some safe place and I move away from that room. I take a breath and I think again. And when I come back with a different mindset. For example, now she tears books. Okay, so she tears apart the papers and all. I love books. I just can't take it if someone is tearing them apart. So that is a very difficult situation for me to control myself from scolding her. So I move out and then I think, okay, she's a kid. Okay, she doesn't know better. Okay, she will be adventurous. And it's my job to tell her what is wrong and what is right. So when I come back, my mindset has changed. So whenever you are in a stressful situation, take a step back, think about that situation, and then come back with a different mindset. I know it's not easy, but yes, with practice, we all can be calmer. Now, the fourth tip that helped me was to bring in a routine in my life. Now, by routine, I don't need to have a timetable, but maybe have 2 or 3 things that you do every day or every week. So when my daughter was like a few months old, at times I had breakfast at 2 in the afternoon. I used to forget to drink water, imagine that. So I knew that when she's cranky, I'm unable to move away from her. So what I did was, I planned a routine for myself, which I combined to her routine. So now I have breakfast with her. So that way my morning breakfast is done and I'm not waiting for her to fall asleep to eat. And then if she has a routine, that's also better because now she also knows when to expect what. So it helps both of us. And the routine, it can be anything. Now it will differ from people to people. For example, when she sleeps after a bath, I do laundry. That's a very simple thing. But it makes my life in order. And I appreciate that on a daily basis. Okay, one thing is done. So you can just pick 2 or 3 things and bring that into a routine for every day or even for a week. It can be a weekly thing also. So this also has helped me to be happy and relaxed. The fifth thing is try different approaches. Now, if we are stuck to one approach of having everything done, it's difficult, especially with a child. So, for example, if she is refusing to eat, then what I do is I tell her, okay, you feed me. Now, this idea amuses her. Now, she's smiling and she wants to feed me. So she gives me a couple of bites and she also starts eating them. Or else, I take her to the balcony. Thank you. I take her to the balcony, show her some cars, a bird. So her mood has changed. And now she can come back and now she is refreshed and she can eat. Another thing is, I avoid saying no constantly to her because I feel it might make her stubborn. So instead of saying no, I distract her. So if I'm eating a junk food and I don't want her to get that and she asks for that, I give her something else that I know she likes. Or maybe I say, okay, let's not eat, let's play some song and let's listen to some music. So, she's totally distracted then and she doesn't ask for that food again. So this also I've practiced and it has worked for me. Now the sixth is, write down something that is bothering you. Now, as a mother, I know a zillion things go on in our minds at the same time. And it's so difficult to remember each thing. I'm more stressed that I might forget than the things being there, right? So many times when I cook, I know, okay, this spice is getting over and I should buy it. By the time I go to the shop, I have forgotten. Okay, I know something was there and I've forgotten. It's gone. I come back and I'm stressed. Okay, I forgot to buy that spice. So what I've started doing is I've started noting down things. So whatever is there in my mind, it might be a shopping list, it might be some goal, it might be a song, it might be anything. I've started writing it down. So it has helped me clean my mind. I feel more relaxed because it's there now. I don't have to remind myself, I don't have to remember it. So it has definitely helped me that also. So I can suggest that this will be, again, a tip for everyone. You can just Yes. Yes. And thanks. So the last tip is invest in yourself. As individuals, it's very important that we do something for that we enjoy for at least 30 minutes every day. It's important for our mental health and for our peace of mind. So for example, I watch YouTube videos. You may want to watch some songs or read or walk, go for a pedicure, meet a friend. It can be anything, but do something for yourself, for your own happiness. That will again bring a special positive vibe around you, and it will definitely make you happier. So with this, the aim of getting these things into my life was to make sure that my daughter remembers me as a happy mom. I know I still have to learn a lot. I am still a beginner. I'm no expert in this, but I feel really honored to share my experiences with all of you. Thank you. Oh God. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much.